It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
Hi everybody, and welcome into our show today, and welcome in, as you're well aware, to the dog days of summer. By the way, why do they call them dog days anyway? But I digress. Of all the species of game fish in our region, which one will bite the best in the hot summertime months? And to help us prove the point, I'd like to welcome you into beautiful Cooper Lake, which is located in northeast Texas. It's in Delta County, north of Sulphur Springs and east of Commerce. Cooper Lake, in my opinion, is the best fishery for the hybrid striped bass anywhere in our region. Now, a hybrid striper is a cross between a white bass and a striped bass, and we'll talk about that. There are two different kinds of hybrids. Talk about which one lives in Cooper Lake today, and I've got a little secret on how you can catch some of these very effectively, and I'll share that with you on today's show. While I'm out doing that, you're going around the region for your very latest fishing reports from Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas freshwater, and down along the Texas Gulf Coast. And speaking of the Gulf Coast, I'm going to show you one of the best hot spots for catching speckled trout right during the hot summertime months on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, and on the Costa Catch of the Week. Somebody wins free sunglasses, and we'll show you a big largemouth bass as well. But first, the Nitro Z8 gets launched into Cooper Lake, and we take you back to the FSN studios. Here's Julie with the Weekend Planner.
Hello everybody. The Salooner tables are predicting good fishing for your trip to the lake this weekend. Peak activity on Saturday will start at 7:45 a.m. and the best conditions for Sunday should begin at 8:30 in the morning. Look for the sun to rise at 6:30 and set at 8:36. And evenings will feature a crescent moon 18% visible. Stay with us, we're coming right back with fishing updates from all of our anglers in the field. Plus, I'll return with Edwin Evers on the Whataburger Ask the Pro.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 10 years running. By Excite, start positive, stay positive. By Lew's Reels and Rods, feel the difference. And by Onyx Personal Flotation Devices and Rainwear, keeping you safe on the water.
There's one. All right, that's a good pull. All right, hey, your SOR is on the road today at Cooper Lake. That's a hybrid. First one of the day, right straight down here. All right, best hybrid lake in our region strikes again. All right, I want to show you something as soon as I can get this fish out of this net without him hooking me. There, got it loose. Not a huge one, but just a good solid pull, and you saw how hard that thing fought. We're going to put it back. We got out here early, and a lot of good that did us because we hadn't caught anything early. Now it's gotten on up in the middle part of the day. Temperature is probably in the upper 90s by now, and it's just slicked off. But hybrid stripers will bite anyway. My most consistent hybrid striper bait is a big spoon, like that one. That's about a 4.5 inch spoon, something like that, with a treble hook on the back of it. You come out here with a big spoon and you rip that thing up off the bottom, you got a good chance to get bit, even in these hot conditions. Hybrid stripers, I don't know what it is about their metabolism, but they feed right through the very hottest part of the day in the hottest part of the year. Water temperature right now is approaching 90 degrees. Unbelievable. So we'll see what else is going on out here. Got a little more information to give you, and still going to reveal my new mystery bait for catching hybrid stripers a little later. Right now, though, let's check in with Brian Hughes of Texas Fishing and Lake Reports.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters. With good lodging, great food, and all the birds you'll ever need, check in with Executive Outfitters for this year's Texas dove hunt. Now, this is summertime, and we need to talk a little bit about the thermocline. That is nothing more than a layer of water below which there's very little oxygen. You know what? Fish like oxygen, so they don't go below the thermocline. Find it on your graph and fish above that level. When you find a place where the thermocline meets cover, you're going to find some fish this summer, and one great place for that is Lake Conroe around all of the boat docks. You'll probably be fishing primarily around the front of the docks during the day. Of course, early in the morning, you can start in the shallower water with your topwaters like a buzzbait or a frog, but eventually the fish will pull out to that deeper water. Now also this week I want to talk a little bit about bob salmon because they have a great catfish bite going on along the dam. Be sure and use your prepared baits or live cut bait to catch bob salmon cats. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters. Be sure and click on my picture on the webpage for more on the Lone Star Lakes. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, last week higher tides had fish scattered on the middle coast. This week, falling tides concentrate fish in channels and holes. On the upper coast, weak tides have slowed bites in the middle of the bay, while better efforts have come from jetties, passes, short rigs, and the surf. Such is fishing along the Texas coast during the summer. This time of year, specs are holding around deeper shell, deeper grass beds, and deeper channels. Live croaker is the best offering, with soft plastics treated with ProCure a good second choice. Upper coast bird activity has been good in the middle of Sabine as well as Galveston and Trinity Bays. On the lower Laguna Madre, the jetties have offered a variety of fish including tarpon, kingfish, trout, and even snook. Inshore, the potholes are places to drift using live bait. Offshore, the extended red snapper season closes at 12:01 a.m. on July 17. On July 15, the Gulf shrimping season reopens. Mosquito Fleet anglers will head into the Gulf to find anchored shrimp boats culling their catch. Around those boats, kingfish, ling, dorado, and even sailfish await. Live and cut bait are best. Also keep an eye peeled for weed lines and rips holding fish. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a single tide schedule of one high and one low tide each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
There's one. Hybrid. Okay. Hey, welcome back everybody. You're on Southwest Outdoors Report on Cooper Lake. And it's time for me right now to reveal my new mystery bait for catching hybrid stripers. I've been catching them on this for a while, but we haven't showed it on the TV show yet until right now. And you're getting to look right now at what will catch the crud out of hybrids. That is the famous umbrella rig, made famous by bass fishermen, and it will absolutely tear the hybrids up. Now, if you've been like in a dark closet somewhere, there's a nice hybrid, not keeping them today, and you don't know what a Alabama rig or an umbrella rig is, basically it's a lead weight, it's maybe around a ½ ounce or so, and then it's got these legs, wire legs coming out in 4 different directions, and on the end of each one you put a swim bait. Now that's a Jean LaRue Sweet Swimmer, I believe is what that's called. And the little leg just kicks back and forth as it swims through the water. Hybrid stripers are just nuts about threadfin shad, about 4 inches long, and that's what this imitates. They're school fish, they're predators, they feed in bunches, and when they see that little school of bait fish come by, they just can't stay off of it. Let's check in right now with Gary Dollahan in Oklahoma.
Hey, it's summertime in Oklahoma, so you know the white bass fishing is good. There is some schooling activity being reported several places across the state: Lake Murray, Fort Gibson Lake, and Grand Lake. As usual, early and late is the typical best time, but those fish can explode anywhere at any time throughout the day. As usual, if they're schooling on top, you can throw pretty much into the busting fish and catch them. When they go down, especially if they're over deep water, when they go down, it gets a little more difficult. Always have that jig and spoon tied on. Always have one of those Bobby Garland slab slayer crappie baits tied on, because both of those are deadly for white bass in the summertime. As far as catfishing, two excellent reports coming in across the state. One from the lower Illinois River, bottom fishing across the entire stretch of the river. The other from Robert S. Kerr Reservoir. At Robert S. Kerr, the fishermen are catching those cats about 12 to 20 feet deep near the channel ledges. As far as crappie fishing, the crappie.com bunch from Oklahoma had a good tournament on Oologah this past Saturday. About 9 pounds won it. Some guys were catching them spider rigging, some were jig fishing. Now, if you have no idea what to do in Oklahoma at this time of year to catch fish, you've got a lake with a bridge on it, go to the bridge, fish the pillars. Put that rod tip right against the pillar, let that bait free fall right down beside that pillar, and wait till you feel that first hit. Mark where that depth is on your line and fish that same depth at all the pillars on all the bridges. You're going to catch crappie, you're going to catch white bass, you're going to catch spotted bass. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
This week on the Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, I'm going to be showing you a solid spot down along the Texas Gulf Coast for catching speckled trout all summer long. It's San Antonio Bay, just south of Victoria, Texas. So let's locate it for you right now on the Lowrance HDS10, and you can see here's Victoria, there is the bay. The Guadalupe River feeds the bay and enters the system here. The Intercoastal Waterway crosses the mouth of the bay here. Next, we zoom in for a closer look at the middle part of the bay, and you can see there are several shell reefs out in open water that are always good spots for trout. But as you can also see, it's very exposed to a south wind, so you may not be able to fish this on windy days. Start with a topwater chugger early in the mornings, and when the sun gets more straight up overhead, switch to a soft plastic shrimp imitation for your best chance at catching a big speckled trout. Again, that spot is good right through the hottest summertime months. That's this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us. Coming up next, Cajun Phil and Kevin have your report from Louisiana, and I'll have more from Cooper Lake in northeast Texas.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. Quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. By Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors, engineering for angling.
Got him. Oh, did you see that? Hey, welcome back, everybody. You're on your Southwest Outdoors Report. That's the burning technique, smoking technique, where you let a spoon go all the way to the bottom and then crank it up 7 or 8 turns real quick. Push the button, drop it back, crank it up 7 or 8 more turns. Here he comes up. Man, come up, come up. That one's not even big. The ones he had with him sure were. All right, well, we'll swing him aboard and welcome you to Cooper Lake, home of some of the best hybrid striper fishing, if not the best, around our region. And I want to mention to you that there are several different kinds of species of, or actually 2 species of hybrid stripers. The first is a palmetto or palmetto. That's the ones that are here in Cooper. That's a cross between a female striper and a male white bass. That's what that is. Let him go back. See it? The other is a sunshine hybrid striper, and that's exactly the opposite. You've got a female white bass and a male striper. But most of what's stocked in Texas are palmetto hybrid stripers, and they are hard pulling, hard fighting beasts. And again, the technique that I always use to catch these, especially when I'm throwing a spoon or a slab, is to throw that out there, let it go down into where I think the fish are, either on the bottom or in this case up off the bottom, and then crank that reel into gear, burn it 7 or 8 times, and push that button and let it flutter back, let it go back down, crank it up 7 or 8 more times, push the button, and usually a hybrid striper will hit it on the swim while you're cranking. All right, let's check in right now with Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox Louisiana Fishing Report. Well, I tell you what, friends, I just got back from fishing over in Texas. I fished everywhere from Port O'Connor all the way to the Badlands. Tell you what, 5 days of fishing there. Couldn't wait to get back to Louisiana. 4 hours of fishing here in Louisiana, 40 more fish than I did in 5 days in Texas. That means folks in Texas, you better come over here to Louisiana, catch some of those fish, because right now it's hot and heavy from the Texas border all the way to the Mississippi border. Every guide we're talking to right now on a serious note is catching lots of fish. Here on Calcasieu Lake, Captain Kevin yesterday didn't limit out. He didn't have his 45 trout, but he had 30 nice trout, also 8 good redfish and several nice flounder. Over around Hopedale and Delacroix, all the guys I'm talking to there, they're actually limiting out with 100 speckled trout a day, because over there the limit is 25 per person. They're also catching some really nice redfish. As far as the bass fishing goes, remember what I told you last time? Full moon's coming up. Full moon's been out with lots of nighttime fishermen catching those spinnerbaits, buzzbaits, and them big old bass assassin lizards working the humps and ridges.
The hybrid striper record on this lake is something a little over 11 pounds. This feels like a catfish right here. And this is not coming anywhere very fast. I've only got 14-pound 100% fluoro strand line on here, and I can assure you this is a catfish. Hooked him on a spoon, a jigging spoon. Man. Giant flathead catfish. Oh, I caught it. How was that for a catch? Man, I tell you, I catch some of the wackiest stuff when I go fishing. Let me show you this bad boy right here, headed to a commercial break. Well, we're hybrid fishing, and we're catching big old flatheads. Wrong. All right, we'll be back for more Cooper Lake hybrid striper fishing, give you a few more secrets on how to catch them in the hot summertime. I had it barely hooked in the corner of the mouth on a little jigging spoon, and a big flathead or yellow catfish. Goodbye, baby.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, by Lowrance, and the all-new HDS Gen 2 with Structure Map Overview, by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability, by Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Whataburger Ask the Pro. Our question this week is from Steven in Conroe, Texas. He writes, when fishing a man-made lake with consistent depth and very little structure except floating docks, what would the best technique be to try and find bass in the post-spawn and summer months? For the answer, we checked with Bassmaster Elite Angler Edwin Evers of Oklahoma.
On a man-made lake in the post-spawn period that, has docks, really no other cover, if they're floating docks, the shad spawn is going to take place right during that post-spawn period. So I'm going to try to swim a jig, slow roll a spinnerbait, maybe a boogie bait down the sides of those docks. If they're stationary docks, you can do the same things. Just figure out where they're relating to on that dock, whether it's the backside, under the walkway, or out on the end. But a lot of times post-spawn, they're going to be suspended up in the water column, so top water, spinnerbait, swimming a jig, something like that.
Thanks, Edwin. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com, click on the Ask the Pro link, and send us your information. Have a great weekend, everyone. Now back to Barry for the Costa Catch of the Week.
Thanks very much, and it's time right now for this week's Costa Catch of the Week winner. He is Bill Frayne of Round Rock, Texas, and he's shown here with a 7-pound, 11-ounce largemouth bass he caught at Lake Falcon. And on his email, he writes that Lake Falcon is the Yankee Stadium of bass fishing, but he hates the Yankees. Way to go, Bill. Hey, if you'd like to enter the contest, all you need to do is go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Right-hand side of the page is where you click to enter to become a member of our fan club. It's free. Attach your photo in the form of a JPEG, send it to us, and if you're the winner, you, like Bill, will win your choice of any pair of Costa sunglasses. And you can see all of the Costa sunglasses at the Costa website at costadelmar.com, including this month's Frame Style of the Month, Harpoon, like the ones I've been wearing all day. And by the way, mine are the Harpoon readers with the reading lenses built right into the bottom. Very handy for tying knots, unhooking fish, and reading my maps. Hey, it's time right now for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, and I want to mention something here. Doing what we did today relies 100% on a quality trolling motor like my Motor Guide Tour Edition digital trolling motor, 109 pounds of thrust. This dude is a beast right here and holds up well and relies heavily on batteries. You actually have your choice of two different Exide marine batteries. The Exide Stowaway regular deep cycle battery is very vibration resistant and will withstand many discharges and recharges. And then the Exide Orbital series is a spiral wound, sealed and spill proof battery that's maintenance free. Right here, in addition to all those good hybrid stripers we also caught a bunch of good sized white bass. Probably caught about 50 of those today, and I let my cameraman Buddy Calzada get to fish, and we had a great time catching whites, even a few crappie, and some hybrid stripers at one of the best hybrid lakes anywhere in our southwest region, Cooper Lake, here in Northeast Texas. I think you would enjoy a trip here. Hey, I want to mention that our show will be on next Thursday night at a special time, 8:00 p.m. before the Houston Astros baseball game. The show also re-airs on Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. You can always see our latest episode 24/7 at our website, southwestoutdoorsreport.com. You can see all of the past episodes at our YouTube channel. You can link to it from the front page of our website and see lots of exclusive content that you'll never see on the TV show on our Facebook page at facebook.com/southwestoutdoorsreport. From Cooper Lake, Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun.